Hey guys, this is Iron Force. I want to make this super quick. I've tried to record this video a couple times and it keeps coming out over 10 minutes. I'm shooting to get under 10. I'm shooting for around 8 at most. So anyways, I'm going to be real quick. So a couple things you're probably wondering, where have I been? I just dropped off the face of the earth. Social life picked up. I kind of stopped posting things. I never really stopped programming completely, but I stopped programming anything cool in any sense. Not that I ever did, but anyways, second thing you're probably wondering, hey, I can see your face now. Yes, I got a webcam. Well, I got a new computer that has a webcam built in, so really nice, and now I can use OpenGL with Visual Studio. So now I'm actually using SFML in Visual Studio, and that's awesome. So just a quick recap of what's happened over the past couple weeks. A friend wanted to do a collab project with me, so we decided to prototype a simple platformer. I did everything I intended to do with that project, but she kind of started receding out of the project because work got busy for her. Cool, whatever, but I just kind of moved on. And I'm not even going to show you it because it's something completely simple. It's dumb, even dumber than what I'm going to show you. So basically I returned to my component entity system I was trying to make, and the biggest thing I hated about the way I was going about it is I had these components which had looked like they had so much use basically on the outside. This base class allowed you to do so many things with these initialization functions, updates, blah 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 blah. But what it boiled down to is a component basically became a package of data where systems updated them. So I've separated components into two very distinct things. Basically a property and a behavior. So I did have behaviors before, but behaviors were just extended components. In this setup, properties and behaviors are two completely separate things. Properties, packages of data; behaviors, functionality. So you can attach either or both to an entity. Properties are updated by respective systems. Behaviors have access to a lot of things and they can update. So we'll just jump right in and I'll show you what's going on. So right here I have a sprite property, and as you can see, the way I kind of differentiate between properties is by an enumeration. And then the other thing I want to show is that I have two different accessors. I have a constant accessor and a non-constant accessor, and I think if I ever implement an event or messaging system, I'll probably make using the non-const accessor fire some sort of event, so you can say, hey, this property was edited somehow, you might want to check it out, just in case anything has a dependence on it. Kind of leaning against that because I don't like messaging and event systems. I've never been able to get one to work in a way that I like. They always just introduce a lot of unnecessary hassle. I've thought maybe I'm just stupid, but anyways, so sprite property is updated by render system. So render system just iterates through all the properties, and because in SFML all the transform data is housed in the sprite class, I set the position that I have from a position property for the sprite class. So then the movement updates the position of the entity, and the position updates the position of the sprite. So then it actually moves on the screen. That's something I don't like, so I'm going to move into taking out all the SFML graphical components, still keeping all input and sound stuff with SFML because I like SFML, but replacing graphical stuff with OpenGL once I get into it. But it's been a long time since I've done anything with it. I was never got good with it, but I'll just start with immediate mode and move from there. So anyways, finally it draws the sprite. Next, behavior. As you can see, behavior has access to the window. It doesn't really have direct access to it, but it can get the pointer. Not really sure why I do that, but that's just kind of something I do. Whatever. But a lot of people would argue that this gives behaviors too much power because, I mean, you can really do anything once you have the window, and I'm planning on giving it access to all behaviors, components, and entities, so it can spawn entities. Well, actually, I'll just give it access to a factory so it can create entities and you can make spawners. It'll have access to probably asset managers. It'll have access to pretty much everything, so you can really do anything with behavior. A lot of people would say it's giving it too much power, but I think I'm going to like it that way. And if I don't, it's not that hard of a fix. I just change this those pointers into constant pointers. Or I'm not really sure how to say it correctly grammatically, but I would change this into this, so then you can't edit the window through that pointer. And that's why back here I have the two separate uh, accessors. I have one that's const, just so you can't mutate it in any way. So going on, I have one behavior so far that I programmed. This is just a prototype, so everything is real simplistic. It's just an input controller, gets the input object from SFML, and then applies velocity with that. The entity class is really simple. Um, I have functions for getting a property, adding a property, removing a property, and then the same functions for behaviors. And then finally, the real thing I want to get to is creating an entity. I'll do some screen draw for this so I can box things because I like doing that. So right here, I create the entity, and then I push the entity back into the entity list that I have. And then for these next three sections, I create properties, push them back into their respective lists, as you can see with the position props and then movement props here, and then sprite props. Oh, I have it right there. Okay, so you can see I have different property lists for each type of property. Um, and then I add the property to the entity. And then lastly, I create the input controller, add it to the behaviors, and then add it to the entity. And I already have this compiled, so I will run it and show you what it does. Let me clear the screen really quick. I'm sorry to be so fast. Oh, it is. Oh, I know why. It's because I did that stupid little edit when I added constant. But anyways, so I have this pink square, and when I press the keys, it moves. So it's really nothing. It was just a prototype putting together an entity. I'm going to add more stuff soon. I'm going to add in bounding boxes, collision detection, and all sorts of stuff like that. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Some final notes. I want to start a new tutorial series. I know I have not completed any tutorial series, but my plan with this is to finish each section and then upload all the section at once. And what I mean by that is this is meant to be a large continuing tutorial series. So I'll start showing you how to build a basic architecture like I was doing with SDL, but I'll do it with SFML this time. And once I finish recording and editing all of that, I'll throw it all up. And as you know, I don't really edit videos. Maybe my friend will help me with that because I don't like editing videos. But then after that, show you how to build a game, something simple, tic-tac-toe or Connect 4. I'm leaning towards Connect 4 because it's a little bit more complicated. Then after I have all that done, throw it up on YouTube, and then the next segment would be like adding AI to the game, and the next segment would be like networking with it. So then you have this complete game where you've learned all these different skills, and then maybe do another one where I show you how to make a platformer. And all these, I don't have a lot of experience with all of this, but I'm hoping that it'll help me learn, and then I can pass on what I learned. And that's pretty much it. Oh, and I've been playing Minecraft a lot more, so if you want to play with me, go ahead and shoot me a message. And if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, whatever, send them over my way. You can email them to me, comment on this video, or my, I don't know what they call it on YouTube, my wall, my profile, whatever. So thanks, have a good day, bye.